And good evening. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying this lovely, crappy weather as usual. You know, what a summer we're having so far. Welcome into the chat, everyone. And to my right, or maybe to your left, is my esteemed friend and colleague, Tom from West Ham United Faithful. Welcome, mate. First time on the show, and it's been a pleasure. We have a little chat so far, people. We've got to know each other. Introduce yourself, mate.
Oh, thanks for having me on, mate. Well, yeah, obviously I'm Tom. I run the West Ham Faithful YouTube channel. I've got a Twitter account and TikTok, basically under the same name. Twitter is Faithful West Ham, and TikTok is West Ham Faithful. It's as easy as that. I post West Ham shit. I give my opinion on stuff. That's it. I've got a big mouth. That's it, mate.
People coming in. So introduce a couple of people for you as well. So it's old school gunner, Dave, good old fellow in that. You know, me and him got on pretty well, Tom. So, you know, I know he's an Arsenal man, but he also lets me on his channel. So it's a good kind of yin yang between each other. So it's good to see him on board. And
that's all right.
We've got the Queen of Royalty of YouTube, Mama Flossie. How are we doing, Mama Flossie? Thanks for coming on. Good seeing you. And obviously Henry Ray as well. So yeah, welcome to that. So that, you know, Tom, finally it looks like we're actually starting to do some business.
Yes, to be fair, mate, I've done my digging on Alvarez, and he's quality, mate. He's quality, and everyone who I've spoken to on the other end who like supports Ajax, they're sad to see him go. They said they think that we're getting a bargain with the price 35 million, and there's 30 plus 5 add-ons in it. So they think that's great business. They thought they could get between 40 and 45 for him. Obviously, other big clubs were interested in him. It's weird because we don't move quickly, but for him we did. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe after that friendly the other day, their arsehole fell out, and they thought, "Oh shit, we got to get a CDM now."
Yeah, it could be. And I mean, when you look at it, as you said, it seems like he's going to be the ideal candidate for Rice, but you know, filling that same role as what Rice did, CDM. You know, I mean, I like the picture I'll put in here on the poster. That I mean, obviously doing the Amers cross. So he's obviously signalled his intention already. Nice to see that.
He knows the ball already, don't he? He knows the deal.
Yeah, Tom, got someone old school gunner wants to sub to your channel, Tom. So you want to let him know afterwards?
All right, cool, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like you said, this picture I'm going to show now, basically, a bit promising. Fabrizio's obviously posted this, and the good thing about it, you see that Steadtine's sitting in the back seat, so it's obviously kind of definitely looks it's actually going to be happening.
It does.
I don't know about you,
mate.
I had to pinch myself just to make sure it was all true.
I thought, if Fabrizio Romano posted that, didn't he? He's even water.
Yeah.
He's even water.
He's got his watermark on it as well.
Yeah. So I mean, although I've doubted X before for a couple of things, I've never had nothing with Fabrizio Romano. I've never had. Yeah. I heard someone said, Fabrizio Romano gave the Borges deal. Well, here we go. And I don't think he did. I can't remember seeing it. I would have been all over that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly,
he might have done, but it's like, I don't know. Now there's a very slim chance of it fucking up, really, innit? There's a very, very slim chance, but anything's possible at West Ham. Do you know what I mean? But it doesn't. Once the player's on his way for the medical, it's pretty much done, innit? Unless someone big comes in and offers him stupid wages at the last minute, it being another Premier League team, or probably, like for example, if a Champions League team came in, Newcastle could probably have that off of him in the last hour. Do you know what I mean? It happens even on transfer deadline day. One player's going here, and the next minute they're signing somewhere else halfway across the world. It's crazy.
It's true.
But
I mean, hopefully that picture there, seeing him on the plane, that's kind of promising, isn't it? It means it's virtually, you know, if Steadtine's sitting in the back there.
I think it's all just dotting the I's and crossing the T's I'm confident it's going to happen. I'm excited. He's. Do you know what? One thing I've noticed from watching videos of his past performances with Ajax is he's a proper bastard. He's a proper bastard. Yeah, he's gritty. He gets stuck in. Oh, mate, it's just like after watching it, I was like, do you know what? The reactions, not even thinking about myself, off my own opinion, I know what people with similar opinions to me is going to think about him, and everyone's going to love him. I can imagine that first tackle going in, he's going to put someone on their ass, and we're going to go nuts. We're going to love it.
Yeah. The West Ham way, innit? As soon as you see something like that, he's one of ours straight off. So I agree on that
we like a hard bastard, don't we? Like, look at Craig Dawson. It's like, look at Craig Dawson. He weren't the most technically gifted. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to eat my words on that one. He could ping a ball across field. He was naughty at that. But yeah, anyway, he weren't like the most stylish of players, but he was gritty. He had his art on the sleeve, and he wore the shirt with pride every time he put it on. Do you know what I mean? And I'm hoping we're going to get that like South American passion. Do you know what I mean? From
I will do, mate. I mean, going back on Dawson, did you feel a little bit kind of sad that he actually moved on? I mean, I like Dawson, considering what we paid for him.
You know what? Last season, when I found out when we started last season, and we still had Dawson, I felt that was just as good as having another signing. And when he left when was it? January he went to Wolves?
Yeah. Around that time. I think it was around that time.
Yeah, I think it was January transfer window. It was like, I don't know, it hurt a little bit, man. But obviously, personal issues and all that. Yeah, it's like I've got a family. Do you know what I mean? You've got to put them first. And I don't know the ins and outs, but all I know is that someone to do with him was ill, so he wanted to be closer to home.
I think when you look at something like that as well, I mean,
but cult era.
Well, so I was just going to say that because that's the thing, isn't it? He's walked away, and not being funny, he's actually left on good terms, isn't it? That's the difference. You know what I mean? You don't always see that, do you, sometimes?
I'll give it 5 years, and you're going to see him on West Ham fan channels. He's going to be selling his interviewing services to Gonzo.
Yeah, you can see that going on. Yeah, it's true, mate. It's true. I hope he remembers their channels anyway, put it that way. We'll have on their channels, mate. So what do you think about the other business we're doing so far? It seems like now, we've been quiet for the last couple of weeks. Now it seems like we're starting to run a little bit.
Well, it seems like they're saying it's like West Ham's like London buses in the transfer windows, isn't it? Like none come for fucking 4 weeks and then 10 come at once. It's the same thing happened last season, but I did work it out the last season before. Like I think it was like 4 or 5 days ago, we had already signed 4 players last season, and I do get that we did most of our business in the last stretch of the transfer window, but we still had signed players. So the fans weren't like, all right, none of them were like stupidly great. But I think Scamacca come in a little bit earlier. I know Paqueta come in late. I think Kira come in late. But yeah, I know Scamacca come in a little bit early because remember they had that whole big thing. They had him doing the interview with that geezer. That went on. The hype around Scamacca went on for about a week. Sad to see him go. Actually, I don't. I'm on the side of he was quality, and with the right manager, he would have been the bollocks. And I'm more disappointed about what could have been, not about like a lot of people are like, it isn't interested. But what do you expect? What the fuck do you expect? I'm not being funny, but if your manager is like, do you know, I want you to do what he does. I want you. And but that's not what you do. It's like, for example, I'm a painter and decorator. I can't have my boss tell me tomorrow, you've got to go and start sticking architraves on indoors and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? I'm not a chippy mate. No, that's not what I do. It's not my trade. Do you know what I mean? It's the exact same. It's just a metaphor, but it's the exact same thing, isn't it?
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I make you right.
I just think it's fucking stupid that we bought it in the first place.
It's true, isn't it? We did exactly the same with Haller. We did exactly the same with Haller, didn't we? You know, when you look
Haller
at
was
it
quality
again,
as well. Haller was quality. He's shown that
blame the manager
after he
in that
left.
respect. You got to blame
I
the manager
don't
because of the way he played in
know.
respects.
Moyes can't buy strikers. He can only make them. That's it.
Yeah, fair comment.
He made Arnautovic a striker. He did it with Thingy. And do you know what? I've got a funny feeling he's going to try and do the same thing with Bowen. The only problem I have with Bowen is Bowen hasn't got a physicality. Bowen is fast. He's nippy. He's little as well. He is quite small. So it's like, I don't know. It'll be basically the equivalent of having a faster, younger version of Danny Ings up front, really.
No, it's true. That's true.
And that don't work in a slightly slower Danny Ings don't even work in a Moyes system. So why would a Bowen? You know what I mean? That's the way I try to look at it.
The Ings thing in that. I mean, that was. I mean, with Ings, what do you think that was? I mean, I don't think it's a Moyes signing. It's got to be either Sullivan or something.
No, it's a Sullivan panic signing. We need a fucking striker just in case Antonio's down. Do you know what I mean? We needed a striker. Moyes was never going to promote Mubama into the first team. He just won't do it, and I have little hope that he's going to do much with him in this season because I think he will get played in the cup games. He'll get played early in the group stages of the Europa League. But as soon as Moyes thinks, like in the Europa League, that shit, now we've got to win, he's going to drop him. He's not going to play him.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
he'll let him play the Carabao Cup games. He'll let him play the FA Cup games because Moyes ain't interested in them. He will be interested in a half decent Europa League run and a mid-table finish. That's what Moyes will want, and that's what the board will probably want as well. Or I think David Sullivan. See, this is where I'm a little bit confused because I couldn't imagine Tim Steidten being able to take like the style of football and the football targets for too long without it actually pissing him off. I know there's been bust-ups and stuff allegedly already, but and then there's people allegedly saying they're getting on well in public. So who knows what's actually going on behind the scenes? But with how Steidten works with previous clubs, Wolfsburg, as well. Notably, he bought young talent that had a lot of potential that were worth a lot of money. He brought Kevin De Bruyne to fucking Wolfsburg, and Wolfsburg then sold him on to Man City.
Wow. So that just shows, doesn't it, what he's got an eye then, hasn't he? He's got an eye for talent.
That's something that goes under the radar. Everyone talks about his Leverkusen team. This was done years ago, before Leverkusen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so he obviously has a track record of knowing his shit.
Same for you, mate. Old School Gunners sub to your channel, and he's actually now watching the West Ham Shit Show upload now. Well done, mate. And also, guys, don't forget, when you've got the opportunity to, if you can, sub to Old School Gunners channel, and that great guy. And also Henry Baker as well.
I'll hit him up.
Thanks, appreciate that.
Do you know what? Yeah, like I'll be honest with you, I've got a big problem with a lot of Arsenal fans at the moment. But like Spurs fans, there are the one or two that have their head on their shoulders. They don't get ahead of themselves and they know exactly the whole situation without fucking. Do you know what I mean? What I'm talking about is them Arsenal fans. You know them Arsenal fans that West Ham's a little club and all this, that, and the other. I can't stand these pricks. Do you know what I mean? It's just like
he's one of the real ones. He's one of the real ones, mate. You'll have no worries.
Congratulations on the Community Shield, by the way, the other day. Hopefully, it's the last trophy of their season.
My brother-in-law, mate, it definitely will be. I'll tell you that now. Yeah, they've now won 3 cups according to him. 3 cups they've won. But yeah, that's my brother-in-law for you, mate.
3 cups. That's just as bad as Tottenham celebrating that the Frosties Cup, isn't it?
Frosties Cup, isn't it? It's true, isn't it? Yeah, they're big themselves up on that.
And don't forget, we beat Atlanta in the Betway Cup a couple of years ago. That's a major trophy, isn't it?
We'll take it all, mate. We'll take it all.
Take it all. Where's our parade? It's like 5 years too late.
Oh, mate.
Some of
So what do you think about this Maguire business? Sorry, mate, go on.
The what? Sorry?
So what do you think about this Maguire business? Now we've gone in with a second bid.
Bollocks, isn't it? You know what, yeah? Do you know what? I don't like him. I don't like him at all. But he's just shit. For Man United, he's been shit. He's been utter wank for like the past season and a half. But the one thing that I do get is that I think he will be considerably better in a Moyes system.
Yeah.
But he's a big guy. You don't have to be good to be a defender under Moyes.
Yeah. Well, you always find, in it, sometimes a player needs to move on to better themselves. And like you said, with Man United, he's not exactly, he's well down on the pecking order. But he could fit in with us, and you might see a better player. I mean, obviously, as you said, everyone's thinking that we're signing a donkey, but who knows?
It's a very similar situation to Lingard, though, isn't
it? Yeah, that's true. When you look at that,
they're both going on their luck. They're both not getting played, and when they did play, they played shit. Come to West Ham, Moyes put his arm around him, and Moyes don't do that to anyone.
No,
he did that to Jesse Lingard, and look at the geezer should do it to everyone. Look at the fucking effect it has on people. Do you know what I mean? He turned some fucking big-headed, big-nosed prick who just liked to TikTok dance into an England fucking contender. Do you know what I mean? He went back to Man United and shut it all up the wall. Highlight of his return back to Man United was scoring that goal against us, weren't it? Fucking prick.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's obvious. That you knew that was going to happen, didn't you? You know what I mean? Dave's just letting you know, Tom, he's letting you know he comes in peace. There you go, he comes in
peace. No, some of my closest friends are Arsenal fans. Some of my closest friends are Arsenal fans. As long as you don't start fucking getting on to me.
There you go. Lucky equaliser, Tom, but we will take it. Yeah. They're asking about when they're doing the extremes, and Dave's on at 8 o'clock. So you get the chance to drop in on his channel, Tom, have a quick word with him.
Yeah, we'll do, mate.
And obviously, Henry's going to give a like to his thing, and they're agreeing with each other. So yeah, with Maguire, we've gone with the second offer, and I think it seems like this one's probably more realistic now for Man United, and I think the only problem we're going to have. Are we going to be able to afford his wages? Being funny, you're sitting on the bench doing bugger all, earning that kind of money. You should say, "Well, I'll take the pay cut." He's going to get regular football. He's got a chance of getting back into England. Would he consider doing that?
If he isn't willing to take the pay cut, he's lost all art in the game, and there's no point having him.
Yeah, it's true. Because he ain't going to give us nothing, is he?
If you've got to pay him what Man United's paying him, when he can clearly see your form ain't on your side, your age ain't on your side, and your reputation ain't on your side, and you want us to give you £250,000 a week, are you fucking crazy, you big head? You know what I mean? It just don't make no sense. It's illogical in every way or form. It just Nah, sorry. Even hearing the 150k a week's far too much money. No. No.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
That's going to be the same reaction, because I think Paqueta's only on 110 grand a week, and he's our best player.
Yeah.
Talent-wise, anyway.
I suppose the only way they can get around that. I'm trying to think now. I suppose the only way they're going to get around that is possibly if he does X amount, we'll give you a little bit extra. If you do this and the other, we'll give you a little bit extra. Yeah. And that's probably the only way we can. Yeah, maybe some bonus and add-ons kind of thing.
I did do a little video. It's only on TikTok. I got transfers on my videos because I've been focusing on TikTok. It's brand new at the moment. It's brand new to me, and it's actually really fun. But I like making loads of funny videos on there. But I've been doing loads of short little videos over there. I'm going to transfer them over to here. But I said, I forgot where I was going with that now. What was we talking about? We started talking about
Maguire, and obviously the bonuses and add-ons, basically.
Oh yeah. So basically, with I'm with you now. Alvarez, yeah. It was rumored that he was getting 150k a week. Yeah. X did reveal today that his basic wage is 100k a week, and it's 50k. It can go up to an extra 50k in bonuses. So if they do something like that with Maguire, where his basic wage is about 100k a week, and you have to score a goal to get an extra 10k, you have to get an assist, a clean sheet, and stuff like that. If you get a clean sheet for the team, you get 20k. I would happily offer that to Harry Maguire. That will stop him making fucking mistakes, won't it?
That's the way of doing it, isn't it? Yeah, that's the way you're going to get out of it. I mean, Henry's going to ask you. Here's a question for you, Tom. Answer this one. Why is Hammers going for a shite player?
I think like I don't agree with the signing myself. I think he's shot. I just said he was shit. He's been shit for Man United. But the one thing that I do think has an underlying point is Moyes. Moyes' is defensive way of playing. Maguire will be part of a back five because he's not gonna drop Zuma and he's not gonna drop Nayefagerd. So I reckon it will be Soufal, Agard, Maguire, Zuma, Emerson as a back five. So, and then having Alvarez in front of Maguire as that extra bit, as the condom. Like, I genuinely think he will be a lot better of a player in a Moyes system. The one issue I have is I don't want to spend too much money off of him because if it does go tits up, Moyes is going to get sacked after 10 games. That's the way I see it. Yeah. I don't want to spend too much money off of him because the next manager ain't going to like him and will probably want to switch to a back four, and Maguire won't get into the centre-back position over Agard or Zuma unless, and then he'll start throwing his toys out of his palm. He's already shown how much of a bitch he is since like Man United took his captaincy away.
Yeah,
you think exactly. It was only a couple of days ago he was too good for West Ham.
Yeah. Well, when you realise, obviously, like, you're not getting a sniff at Man U and that, and you make a comment like that, you've now got, if he is going to come, you've now got to justify yourself, haven't you? Because
it's funny because it was going around the media that Maguire had interest from other Premier League clubs apparently a couple of days ago. So why are Man United considering 30 million for a player they value 40 million? Why would they even consider it?
There you go. I mean, what's his name? Peter Odom Wingate that drove all the way down to Spurs, thought he's going to sign for him and that, and all of a sudden it's like, no.
Oh, I was so young.
You need to go back.
I was so young. I remember watching that on deadline day. Oh God.
Mate, if ever you want to embarrass yourself, that's the way to do it. Definitely the way to do it.
Deadline days ain't that entertaining anymore, are they?
No, that's true, mate. That's true. Remember Payet back in the day? What a player he was. He was a player when he Payet, but I think like everything else, another one where he wasn't doing anything at the previous club, comes to us, shines, and then suddenly gets a bit too big for his boots and wants to move on. And then I suppose if you look at what comes around, because you see him, Marseille's dumped him like a stone, and he was crying his eyes out like a little bitch on the TV.
He's at 34, 35 now, isn't he?
Yeah, you've done your time, haven't
you?
So you surpassed the requirements. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's one of those, isn't it?
When you're supposed to be an attacking midfielder, when your legs start going, you start getting slow and you start getting fat. And you can't move the way you used to be able to. You become ineffective. So what can you do? You can't. I know Marseille's his club, isn't it? It's like his boyhood club and all that. But it's like you're 34. Like me, if I'm 34 at West Ham, I do what Mark Noble done. Oh, I got my boots. I'm done. Do you know what I mean? I leave before I get a bad reputation for myself.
No, exactly. Big up to Daniel E. Good to see you on there, mate. Early doors to see you finally getting a player. Alvarez is a good player for Ajax. Just thought I'd pop in and comment before Tottenham game starts. Big up, mate. Dan, thanks for coming on, mate. Pleasure seeing you. He's a good one as well, Tom. Nice fella. always get on well with him, even though he's a stud. We do get on well with each other.
Is he? Not all of them are bad.
No, of course not. Yeah, look, obviously McManus is agreeing with our comment. You can see he's too good for West Ham. West Ham are too good for him, more like. It's true.
Exactly.
How are we doing, Jaminho?
No, do you know what? With Payet, where I heard there was shit going on behind closed doors. Like he's playing away apparently, or something.
Allegedly, they were saying.
He was doing away Rooney. He was down. He was down.
We're West Ham fans. We've got halos above our head. We're angels, you know that, don't we? We don't say things like that.
Allegedly.
Exactly. That's the word. That's the word of the day. So the chat say luxury show, which is good. Oh, mate, so obviously I will score Gunner, and obviously I score Gunner. So I hope you're good. Yes, he definitely is. So yeah, I mean the other one, obviously, it looks like for Man United, we're raiding their cupboard. It's McTominay, which obviously got rejected flatly. Now, what do you think about that? One?
Well, we bid 30 million and they want 45, and that's not enough. Maguire was 40 and we've offered 30, and it's discussions. I don't quite get it. I think 30 million is us getting our pants pulled down for Maguire, to be honest. And McTominay is not 45 million. Nowhere on earth. Yeah. Nowhere on earth. If we spend that money on McTominay when we could have got a player like Fofana, I will lose my shit. I swear to God, Fofana
you never know.
Is 10 times the player of McTominay.
Mm. No, I mean, like, we know what Fofana can do. He's a quality player, and all of a sudden, like, again, that's something we should be pushing.
I watched the game against Arsenal when he ran that midfield.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, I know. He did school it. He was bossing it around all the time. But yeah, it's one of those. I mean, I think the McTominay thing. It's a fact that he's fitter than Maguire. Obviously, he does a bit more than what Maguire does. So I think that's the only reason why they're looking to try and get a bit more. So it wouldn't surprise me if we meet halfway with this one. So we're going around about 35, 37.
Did you watch the interview on Sky Sports about it?
No,
I think it was the Asian bird. She was talking about it. Well, basically, when she described McTominay and why they rejected it, is because they said he's physically fitter, he's more important to Manchester United, and his international form. Now, don't get me wrong, my dad's Scottish, innit? So I do keep an eye on the Scotland national team, and McTominay does play really well for Scotland. He is a complete and utter different player. But it all depends, is that going to be the McTominay that we buy? If we buy that McTominay, I'll be more inclined to spend about 40 million on him. But if we're just buying McTominay, who's quite, I don't know, maybe it's because, like, obviously Scotland never play on the front foot, do they? They're never the dominative team unless they're playing Kosovo or someone like that. So they're set up to be like a Moyes team, really, isn't it? So maybe he could work. And he does score goals for Scotland. I think he scored 4 in his last 5. So he's obviously got. But I did find it funny how she said his international form, not his club form. I was like, you're shaking it a bit.
Are we talking about the real McTominay? Or are we talking about the FIFA 95 McTominay kind of thing? Is it one of those?
The one at the World Cup, that one.
That one, yeah. Because if you look at it, something like that, that's a case of it must be a Man United thing. Because you think with Pogba, for Man United, it was absolutely shite. But playing for his country and that, he was $1 million. Maybe Tommy's doing exactly the same thing. But going, like we said with Maguire, maybe for McTominay, a move like this could be a good fit. You never know.
From what I've heard, that Man United is just not that professional like environment as what it used to be. Like that champion environment that you see with Man City. Like they all look like fucking, they're all about their game. They're focused on football. That's it. Tactics, this, that, and the other. And they all look, but they're having fun at the same time. Whereas Man United, a lot of the Man United players just look like they don't give a fuck about the club. They genuinely don't. I mean, the history behind that club. If you've got people that from all over the world that their dreams to play for Manchester United one day back in the day, and then you're just turning up there with your big fees acting like prima donnas. I do kind of feel sorry for them fans as well, because it's historic. I grew up with the Alex Ferguson era. Do you know what I mean? That was me as a kid. Like,
yeah. Of course, you see all that sort of thing. I think
as well.
The problem there, kind of thing, is I think like when they had Edward Woodward as the kind of the chairman and that, he was just a businessman. He was no footballing man, and I think from that point onwards, it was a decline onwards from there. And of course, the Glaziers, well, that's. I mean, we talk about. I mean, there's a comment here. Whether does I see it there? I mean, obviously, Henry's putting this comment here saying, like, do you think Sullivan has lost the plot? He did that when he first bought us, Henry. So I don't think you have to, too many worries there. They've always been like that, but very kind of suspect one there.
Do you know what I think it is?
Yeah, go on.
I think it's a compromise. I think this with McTominay and Maguire is a compromise by David Sullivan. Because basically, obviously, all the arguing that we've all been hearing about, people not getting on, no one's agreeing on nothing. Mm-hmm. Maybe David Sullivan just sat him down and goes, look, we've got this much money, you've got this much to spend, and you've got this much to spend. Go and get your targets. That's it.
Yeah, just
make sure they can work. But Moyes is a stubborn prick. So if it's a signing that's not his, he will leave him on the bench for a few weeks. So I'm kind of hoping Alvarez. See, he's not going to start at the weekend because he ain't signed in time. I don't think.
No, he won't do
I don't know. When does he have to be registered to be able to play at the weekend? Is it Thursday?
Yeah, by Thursday.
Yeah, so I think
he's going to come over. Then he's got to do the medical. Then of course, there's all the other kind of paperwork that will fill in. Then it's got to be kind of sent off to the FA and what's it, FIFA or UEFA, sanctioned through that way, and then it gets pushed through. So we'll see. We will cover this. I mean, we'll talk about this one now because this, to me, is just absolute craziness. I mean, even at 80 odd million, I would have snapped Bayern's hand off. Kane 94.6 million now. What a joke for a 30-year-old player. 30-year-old player that still bangs in 20 odd goals, or 20 plus goals, 25 plus goals.
Yeah, and in the German league, he will get more. He will be there, Lewandowski, and look how long Lewandowski was at Bayern Munich for. He even fucking got a move to Barcelona before he retired. The cheeky Polish prick. Do you know what I mean?
Big gamble though when you think they turned around that. Yeah, no, it's true. But when you look at this though, Tom, when it's just kind of crazy, you think Levy's playing a bit of a. Just freeze now. Is that me? Me again, mate.
Yeah, you're frozen.
Told you.
There you go, you're back.
I'm back. Yeah, bloody thing.
He's back.
Yeah, you were saying obviously when it kind of decided to freeze.
I was trying to stay still to sort of...
Yeah, it seems like that way. This did it last week, fun enough. That must be a bloody weekly thing. Yeah, I mean, for the money at the time when they turned around, Levy's playing a bit of a dangerous game because he's not stupid. He's a businessman at the end of the day. The turned down, was it 84, 86 million? Was it something like that? And then Bayern saying it's our last, so this is our last offer, our final offer.
So they've just put in is this just come out now? Yeah. They've just put in another bid.
This is the latest one they're putting in for basically.
I don't think they'll go higher than that.
No, that'd be it. I think that'd be
it. Is that 94 million euros or pounds?
No, it's pounds.
There's a big
difference. I think it's 105 million euros or something like that. I can't think. 100 million euros, something like that. Just got to say, Henry's just going now. So thanks, Henry, for coming on. Thanks for coming on,
pal.
mate. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's about 100 million euros for Kane.
I mean, for Bayern Munich, he will be in the Champions League every year. He will win trophies with Bayern Munich. It's already written off the league because I think Bayern Munich's won it for like the past 12 years or something. The German league's dominated by Bayern Munich.
Yeah, of course.
He will easily score 20 to 30 goals a season for them for like the next 4 or 5 years. He will be worth the money to them. I don't want Tottenham having that kind of money in their pocket though, because that means they're going to go out and they're going to get someone half decent, aren't they? They are. They're going to go.
You say that, mate.
But then again,
Gareth Bale and they made like 100 million out of him. They literally pissed it up the wall.
They did.
They bought 4 players that were absolutely crap. So they learned their lesson from that one.
Eric Lamela was one of them, weren't it? Fucking I can't remember off the top of my head, but that money was to push them up the table, weren't it? And it did nothing. They retracted after that.
They bought what's his name there? There's a forward who began with an S. I'm trying to think what his name was now. Absolutely useless. I
don't know. A lot of their players are absolutely useless.
My forte was Daniel. He was silly. He was saying straight away. I mean, McManus is saying obviously 45 million for Scott McTominay. That's insane. Yeah, they're just going to try and get what they want, kind of thing. I mean, they've got their own problems. Who's going to buy them, and who's that's a different story, really. Good, bro.
I mean, 35. I'd say take it or leave it. For maximum I'll go is 35 plus 5 add-ons with ridiculous clauses like we have to win the Europa League, we have to qualify for the Champions League. He's got to score 50 goals in a season.
It's true. But man is saying Levy's a mug. If he doesn't take the money, let's just hope they do what they do with the Bale money. Yeah, we just said that. Buy a load of shit. I mean, we hope so. As
much as we dislike David Sullivan and Levy, they are both brilliant businessmen. You can't really knock them and that, but that's what they are, though. They're not football people. That's why the fans don't like them.
Yeah,
there's not one ounce of them that gives a fuck about any of us. They're just trying to look for different excuses how they can rinse more money out of your pocket. Like charging you £5 to watch a fucking friendly. Taking a piss, isn't it?
I mean, I think it was more for some of the other teams. Who was it? They was paying like £8 for watch one of their games. I thought, nah. So
really?
Came to Arsenal. Yeah.
I don't know. That could work, That could work. He'd fit in that Arsenal team. And Arsenal do need a striker, but they ain't got £100 million. No. Never know. He could do a Sol Campbell.
I was going to say that. Took the words out of my mouth, Tom.
Such a cunt.
I mean, he's a new boy as well. He knew what to do. He's a new boy. He knew what he was doing. When he decided to move from one area to the other, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting if they do that. But again, it comes down to the same old thing. Are they going to part with 100 million? They've already done it with Declan, and it took a while for them to do that. I can't see that happening. But I mean, with the Kane thing, apparently there's some kind of buyback. I think Spurs want to put a buyback in this deal, so they can buy him back within a couple of years. But I think it'll be for nothing virtually, if the rumour's true. But then I suppose I can see it because Spurs will make their money and Bayern will make their money back on shirt sales. So either way, it's a win-win for either and the player himself, basically. But we'll see. I don't know if that's true.
But in the same respect, Bayern will also. I can see them being like, well, if I'm going to spend 100 million, even they're going to get that. They're going to get their revenue from the shirt sales anyway, and they don't have to accept the buyback clause. And Tottenham would be mugged if they don't accept that money because they're never ever going to get an offer like that again. They're not.
No, that's for sure. That's for sure. I mean, if he turns this down,
it's not happening. I wouldn't be surprised if Kane kicks up a proper fuss because it seems as if like his personal representatives, like he will go on strike again like he did last time. But it didn't work last time, did it? He went back into training. I'm back.
Well, I think that was the was it £300,000 or £350,000 a week that kind of tempted him to do that, basically.
Do you know what? I'm quite surprised that with all this shit with Kane, I'm surprised some Saudi club ain't come in with £120 million and just gone, yeah, we'll take him. Like they was going to do with Mbappe. I'm surprised that ain't happened.
It's a good point. Yeah, why haven't they? Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, I thought it'd be like that. Yeah, it's a good point.
Don't know. And especially as Southgate's already come out and said that if you're in the Saudi league, I'm still going to send scouts to keep an eye on you and stuff, like to see if you're good enough to play for England, which I think is ridiculous because the level of football in the Saudi league is absolutely shit. It's terrible. When Ronaldo went there, don't get me wrong, some of their players are half decent, but it's like watching Championship. So even Ronaldo's won't now. People need to stop talking about this geezer. He's shit. He couldn't do it in the Premier League. That's why he went to some unknown country to fucking take his money. Like, don't get me wrong. If I was him, I'd do the same fucking thing. But people still go on as if he's 22-year-old Ronaldo. Do you know what I mean?
It's true, mate. It is true.
And he's not humble at all. The geezer's an arsehole. He's got it in his head. He thinks he's Mbappe. Like, the geezer's body is dreadful.
Well,
yeah,
exactly. What do you think? I mean, we're just kind of slightly off track from West Ham, but I think we need to is something. This one, I mean, Neymar could be Chelsea bound.
Really?
Yep.
I've been in the old little West Ham bubble the past couple of days. I've just West Ham. I'm not interested in anyone else. But really, Neymar, Chelsea.
Yeah,
he worked with Pochettino, didn't he, at PSG? So. He froze again. We are having some technical difficulties. We will be back in a second. I'm sure he will. Oh. No, he'll be back in a sec, I'm sure. I can't even see the comments, so I'd like to interact, but I can't. Apologies. I'm just talking to my phone at the minute. I'm sure he'll jump back in. Where is he? I thought I came to the chat. Right, Tony's just reloading it up now. He'll be with me in a sec. He just sent me a message. He's doing loads of shit with his laptop. With his laptop, I think it's a laptop or computer, all at the same time, and it's fucking bugging out on him, innit? But yeah, I can see the chat. So Yes, he's back.
Bloody hell! I'm getting this. It's just trying to find me at the moment.
I was having a nightmare. I didn't realise that I could see the chat, so I was just sitting there staring at the screen like this.
I'll just see what's going on. Hopefully, I'm going to come back in shortly. I am there. Yeah, going on. I mean, if you can you hear me though?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can't see you.
That's fine. Yeah, I know. I'm just working on that part. I mean, basically, yeah, with Neymar, he wants to leave PSG, and apparently the fee is stupid. I think it's something in the region between 60 to 70 million. So Chelsea are kind of looking to get in there really quick.
70 million for Neymar?
Yeah, between 60 and 70 million, apparently.
I wouldn't be surprised if they try and swap him Lukaku, you know.
Oh, you imagine that.
I wouldn't be surprised. To be fair, if I was a Chelsea fan, because Lukaku's not going to work for them, and he's returned back to Chelsea, he don't want to play for Chelsea anymore. I'm sure in the French league he'll rip it up. Lukaku rips it up everywhere he goes, apart from Chelsea, or apart from anywhere in England. He just can't play in England.
Nah.
Under David Moyes, he could though. Under David Moyes, he could.
In Moyes we trust. I think when you look at the only one he kind of really played well for was Everton. That's where he actually shined.
Yeah,
Lukaku
in England. Yeah,
but I think that was about it, really.
Yeah, I mean, his game suits Italian football.
Yeah, because I suppose because he is slow as anything these days. Yeah, I mean, it probably does suits them down at the ground.
Yeah, I think he work in the French league as well. That's why I wouldn't be surprised if they try to if you heard over the next couple of days that they're trying to use Lukaku and like 30 million and say swap us Neymar. You want 70 million? We'll give you Lukaku and 30 million.
Yeah, bargaining tool. Yeah, yes, yeah, could do. Couldn't they? Makes it much
They'll
easier
just take a massive loss on Lukaku because weren't Lukaku like 100 million as well?
Yeah,
they bought him.
It was something silly, wasn't it? Well, they bought him back. Absolutely silly price.
Oh, there we go.
What's your take on? Sorry, mate. Go on.
I was just going to say about Chelsea. They back in the Mourinho era, the amount of players that come through their academy, like when you look at Mo Salah, Kevin De Bruyne, Lukaku, all these players went on to be world class, but they just didn't do it at Chelsea. Fucking. And we feel bad about players like Ngakia leaving us and going to Watford and doing fuck all.
It's true, isn't it? True.
Oh,
big up Yeti. So Tom, this is Yeti. He's another real one here. Yeti. He's a Notts Forest fan of that, so we get on really well as well. So this is Tom Yee. He's obviously a West Ham fan like my good self. So yeah, if you can as well, subscribe to this man's channel. He's brilliant. I mean, you know, like you, mate. He says it as it is. There's no mucking around.
Oh, you done a video with him, didn't you? The long-haired Yeti. I got long hair. I just tied it up.
Yeah, no, you know, it was a good show. Me and him did. It was a really good show.
Yeah, it was. It was. I gave it a good watch.
Big up, Tom.
Big up yourself.
Take on Cresswell. Yeah.
Leaving?
What's your take on Cresswell?
Him leaving?
Well, yeah.
Oh, he was back in training last Friday, weren't he? He's been training all this week.
Okay, yeah, you know, when you listen to the news, they reckon he was offered. You know, he kind of went on a little kind of mini strike. Didn't train for 2 weeks. He didn't turn up for the awards. So you know, I don't know. But
apparently he's back in training. He's training by himself though. He's not training with the team. I I don't know how they're gonna go about it because obviously he's gone on his strike, but apparently Wolves have pulled the plug on it.
Yeah.
On the deal, so they've basically called it off, and the only other interest was a little bit of interest from your man's Nottingham Forest. So
Which
that was
probably
just
wouldn't
an
be a bad move for
inquiry.
him. Mm.
No, it wouldn't. It
I
wouldn't.
think it makes more sense because, fun enough, me and Yeti was talking about it the other day. I think if you look at it, it's a bit more closer to home for Cresswell. So he wants to be near to family and that. There's a compromise. He can still drive up there, and if he can come and play for Forest, so it probably wouldn't be a bad thing.
Yeah, but I think in West Ham's case, it's more like we're going to lose another experienced member of the squad. We're going to lose another big voice in the dressing room, someone who's been there, done it. Do you know what I mean? Those are the players that you need when settling in new players, and all of the proper West Ham players that haven't just come in over the past couple of years are pretty much going now. Like Noble went, Cresswell's going. Do you know what I mean? It's getting. I don't know. I'm just struggling to see where we're gonna have the leadership in the team. I don't know who's gonna step up. But one thing I will say is in the pre-season friendlies, I noticed Jared Bowen's a lot more vocal than what he was last season. I remember
he was under the captaincy, wasn't he?
telling people what to do, and
because I think he was under the captaincy in a couple of the games, wasn't he? So I think that is probably him. And you never know, possibly a Gerd. He could be the one as well. He could be possibly a choice.
He was captain of his last team, weren't he? He was captain of Rennes.
So
I think he was captain of Rennes. So he's obviously done it before, innit? But I don't know. Me personally, I'd like someone who's been at the club for a couple of years to be our captain. Nothing against a Gerd. I think it's quality.
Knows the club, knows the brand, knows the players, knows the style. Yeah, I agree on that. Big up Fast 44. Good to see you on your mate. Hope you will.
Who do you choose when you've only got slim pickings for leaders in your squad? You know what I mean? That's why I think they're trying so hard to get Maguire. To be honest.
Yeah, so give a bit of leadership. I mean, obviously, Hot Fuzz is a Man U guy, as you can see by the badge. So we've just been talking about obviously raiding your cupboard. He probably thinks that's probably a good thing. So we'll see. And just so you know, Tom, he's subbed to your channel. So mission accomplished, mate. So that's another one for you.
Nice one, mate. I'll get over to yours and subscribe to yours after I'm done. I've got to get me dinner on after I get off here. Oh.
He's always liked Cresswell, to be honest. Yeah. And
I reckon he'll be a half decent signing for Nottingham Forest. Solid. The only thing is you can't rely on him for pace, but he is a set piece taker. He will score you the odd goal from a free kick, and he will take the corners.
Yeah.
And he can whip the ball in. His form's dropped off over the past couple of years, but he's still got a little bit. Do you know what I mean? But a 3-year contract, though, fucking mad, that, isn't it? Wolves offering that. How old is he? 33, 34?
Well, Cresswell, yeah, he is actually. Yeah, he's old, but well, just going on to that.
Take him up to 37.
Wow.
He'll be 37 at the end of that contract in the Premier League.
Bloody hell. Wolves, I mean, we talk about us being in a mess, but it looks like Locatelli is actually going to be walking away from Wolves.
No.
The lack of transfer business.
Wasn't there something similar with their last manager? He was moaning about them not doing no business as well.
Yeah, I know. It's just, I mean, we're
but
moaning about us not doing business.
There's something going on with all the clubs that are owned by Asian-owned owners, not Asian like the Chinese and the Malaysian, like Leicester's owners. They went skint as well, didn't they? And I think Wolves' owners are Chinese as well. So I don't know what's
Yeah, 'cause
going
I
on
think,
with all these rich guys from over Asia, but they're all going skint, aren't they? Something to do with
yeah, because
fucking
I know,
energy shit, I think.
because you've got to remember with China, because it's a, it's kind of like a secret state. The
Mm,
government have a lot of say in a lot of things, so that's why they, like for
yeah,
instance, you think when you're flipping out with it went to the Chinese league, and also all the
yeah,
players were going to the Chinese league because that's where the money was. Then suddenly the government stepped in and said, "No, no, no, no. One or two players you can have. Other than that,
yeah,
and you don't hear the Chinese league now, do you? You don't really hear
yeah.
anything about the
Yeah.
Chinese league. That's just
Saudi's
died a
taking
death.
over, isn't
Of course it has, mate. Of course it has. I mean, Hot Fuzz, great one from you. Taking our broken tools out of our broken down shed. Yes, please.
Do you know what? I still stand by the opinion that they just don't suit the way you're trying to play. They just don't.
Mm.
They don't. And Man United need ball players, and neither of them two are really ballers. If you get my drift, like in a similar mold as
Yeah.
Craig Dawson, I reckon a lot of people will be disappointed, but they'll be surprised with how well they play. I don't want them. I don't. Well, I don't know why I'm singing them graces, but I just think in that Moyes system, it will work. It will. I think. I hope so. If we fucking get them, it better.
I don't know if you saw it as well, though, Tom, because apparently the other rumour is we're also possibly looking at Anthony Martial.
Yeah, for a loan, innit? I believe we're exploring loan
options or a buy kind of thing.
It'll be loan with obligation to buy, something like that, maybe.
Could be. I mean, but again, he's another one that's kind of injury prone. I mean, obviously, yeah, he's saying about not forced. A lot of them leaving it's way too late, and obviously he's laughing at everything there. But Martial, he's another one, and he's not exactly had a fair crack at the whip at Man United, and that it's always kind of he's always on the pecking order, always sitting down. So he's another one, I suppose, you can head into the broken tools there. He's always sitting on the bench some of the times, but when he does come on, he's a decent player. I like him in certain respects, but he gets injured too much.
He waits for his turn. He gets his turn. He does well. He gets injured, and then he goes to the back of the queue again. So how it's been with him literally since fucking Van Gaal was there. Do you know what I mean? He is a good striker. Remember the last game at the Bowling? I think he scored 2 goals against us that game.
Yeah.
And that was one of his best seasons. Obviously, that was 2016, and he's obviously a lot older now. But he's obviously a talented striker. I don't know. I just think we'd get him. He'll get injured.
Yeah,
he'll break his ankle on a hard training pitch.
I think the only thing we're not Arsenal, mate. We don't get injured in training like we used to.
No, they just slip over in the cafeteria and the porta cabins. No, one thing I will say though, that's one thing I literally, since you've just said it, our injury record for players isn't that bad anymore. We used to get players that were injured all the time. Under Pellegrini, players were injured for most of the season. Remember Jack Wilshere? And he played like 12 games in 2 years for us. Oh, Andy Carroll. Like we had a reputation for having players that were always injured, but at the moment, that carried on with Antonio, because Antonio was always fucking injured. But then he's somehow sorted out his hamstrings.
That's all that steroids up top, mate. That's why I look so hench all the time now, doesn't he? That's the problem. A bit too tight. I mean, he's coming here. We're all that desperate. We'll take the guy who got his leg broke by Marcelo. Oh, mate, that was. Have you seen that one, Tom?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it circling on Twitter. I showed it to my missus, and she gagged.
He looked like a rubber band when he hit it. Oh, mate, the way he just kind of bent like a U shape, didn't he? It was just awful.
It was similar to Lanzini.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
Yeah, I remember that.
Similar to that, it was horrible. You know what? It genuinely saddens me, you know, because like obviously that's their livelihood. Do you know what I mean? An injury like that ends your career. You're done.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, he will get paid out dirty amounts of money from health insurance because I think you've got to have it as a footballer. You've got to have health insurance, and if something like that is loss of earnings, isn't it? So he will get a massive payout from an insurance company because of the issue. But
no, exactly.
It can break a man. Do you know what I mean? Being told you can't work tomorrow.
This is the thing, isn't it? This is the thing.
Going through the trauma of having something like that happen to you, it's crazy.
I'll let you read this one out, Tom.
I showed it to my missus. It won't be the first time I've shown something to my missus and she gags. Won't be the first time. Won't be the last either. What am I talking about? I got 4 kids. I'm in bed by 10 o'clock most nights. That stuff don't happen, though.
You've done that part.
Do you know what? I'm only 28. Yeah, I'm only 28. But like having kids at such a young age, I've found myself growing up so young. I don't go out clubbing. I barely go to the pub anymore. I'm happy with a few beers and watching YouTube. Do you know what I mean? I work with West Ham fans who they do the exact same thing as I do. They go home, they have a few tin-ins, they stick on West Ham fan TV or whoever their favourite channel is. Do you know what I mean? They do the same shit.
It's good. It's
quite
that community.
It's nice.
It's good. You know, when you think about it, you just saw me by chance. We're now doing this show, and hopefully it's one of many. You know, like I do with Yeti and with the others. It's brilliant. It's good. It's got to be like that. It's good
my first live collab on another channel as well.
Oh, well done, mate. So thanks. I feel privileged for hearing that. Thank you very much. Yeah.
I mean, I've had brief appearances. I was on West Ham Fan TV for like a couple of minutes, and the same with West Ham Network. But like, this is my first proper like interview. You know what I mean? Like, it's nice. It's been nice. Mate. It's been nice.
Yeah, it's been
a lovely game
so far. We've covered a lot. Yeah.
See, do you know what? Yeah, I've never had the balls to do lives.
And you can see the people are good people. Haven't you? Interesting.
No, I've never had like.
I'm back in the room.
I've backed I've built up my channel to about 200 subscribers, but it's like I don't know. Whenever I've gone live I bounce off people. I like someone to talk to when I'm just there, and like obviously when you first do your live, it's like you will be sitting there with no one watching your stream for a few minutes or whatever, and it's nerve-wracking. I've done it a few times. I've started up a live. I've had it going for about 5 minutes. No one's joined to turn it off. it's like I possibly might do one in the future and invite you on, because I know I can bounce off you, and like you've got a good opinion. Do you know what I mean? Like. We've got very very much a lot of similarities in opinions.
That's nice, mate. It's good. No, it's good. Yeah. As long as I keep freezing all the time, we get on really well, kind of thing. But other than that, no, mate. I mean, it's one of those, isn't it? We know opinion is a big thing. Some people kind of get on with it. Some people kind of think like, I don't like your opinion, but we're all entitled to opinions, freedom of speech, all that.
And everyone's entitled to argue their points. You know what I mean? I love a debate. I do. I just don't like it when people start talking shit and start being insulting for no reason. Talk about the facts. Do you know what I mean? Like, because you find you have like difference in agreements, and you just have to be, you're a prick. Do you know what I mean? Like, no need for that.
I mean, when you look at ones like that, it just seems to me that it's a case of, do you really know what you're talking about? When you're saying stuff like that, that means you're only doing it for one reason. And
you know what I mean?
That's it. And there is, unfortunately, certain people that do get wound up pretty easy, like, you know.
Yeah, I'm kind of one of them.
I've never noticed, Tom.
You see my tweets? Oh my gosh! Like, literally, if I was a fish in a pond and someone threw in that bait, I'm biting straight away. I love to have a go, but do you know what it is? I'm very passionate about my club. Do you know, and I will argue until the cows come home. My point, but like I said, I'll respect anyone's opinion. If you've got a valid point, I'll be like, oh, fair enough. Yeah, no, you've got a good point. Do you know what I mean? There's no need to be snarky in an arsehole.
That's what, you know, as they always say, it black is black and white is white. If you can't say it, then forever hold your peace. But if you're going to say something that's kind of got some relevance behind it, then we listen to it, kind of thing. But you know, simple as that is. You could easily dismiss it out of the chat anyway. That's one thing. But no, everyone's entitled to their opinion. And we know, obviously, you're going to get other channels and other kind of fans coming in, as long as you're respectful.
You know what,
that's what
I've got a big issue with a lot of the shit that Arsenal Fan TV do. It's fucking like they promote. Like, don't get me wrong. There's like, I don't mind Robbie, and I don't mind a lot of white geezer. What's his name, Lee? But everyone else that's involved in that channel, Lee Judges. Everyone else involved with that channel is a prick. They're so disrespectful to every other fan base, and all a lot of them are so deluded that they think they're Man City. Like, they've had the success in the past 20 years as Manchester City. Like I said, not all Arsenal fans are like that. That's what I mean. Like, I follow Arsenal Fan TV as well, but if a video comes up like on my next viewing or whatever, and it's not Lee Judges or Robbie, that's why I skip it straight away, because I can't be bothered to hear the bollocks. Do you know what I mean?
You're not alone with the comments about it. I mean, when you look at the actual Arsenal channels, a lot of them have the same opinion. You know what they're doing. The people that's on there, the majority of them, they're only doing it because they're looking for that little bit of fame. Why do you think some of these Arsenal channels have set themselves up? They've bounced off the back of Arsenal Fan, AFTV. There's only a couple of them that you can say that really made a big go of it and made something out of it. You know, there's only a few of them. The other ones, they're just living off the getting the views from them channels, from Arsenal Fan TV. But
one thing I have noticed that with Arsenal Fan TV, they're the biggest Arsenal fan channel. They don't help no other channels. That Arsenal YouTube community is toxic. Do you know what I mean? Like, they are the biggest channel. They ideally can help promote the other Arsenal channels to get bigger, but they don't. Whereas our Arsenal Fan TV, Claret and Booze, Hammers Chat, they all do collaborations with lesser channels. It does take a while. Like, I've been getting onto Geo for a while. You still won't have one.
But that's how they started. I mean, Bargo, first time in the chat. Thanks.
Big up, brother.
Football community. And I've frozen again. Bloody thing.
No,
on my nose.
Frozen. The audio's there, though.
I'm back here. I mean, obviously, like you said, top channels, every club is like that, Sally. Yeah, and I agree with Barkov's comment there, because you do see it. I mean, fun enough, you were saying, I think it's Forest Fan TV. They're another one that's kind of on a similar ilk to our AFTV, basically. But
I just don't agree with it. Help out the little guys, man.
Of course, what do you think they all started off? They all started off somewhere, didn't they?
Yeah. Is that pretty much? I watched that Hammers Chat video of Geo. It was like 7 or 8 years ago, and it was pretty much the same as mine. There was a blank wall, West Ham shirt on the wall, or maybe a flag in the background. It was so budget. They just did it. There was just a couple of geezers with an opinion, and that's all it is. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't crave I don't want to be. I'll be happy having my little community with my people. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to have that kind of responsibility like Arsenal Fan TV do. Their lives are consumed, but like, to be fair, they probably get enough views and they've got enough subscribers for Nicky Hawkins and probably one of the others to not have to work. So I mean, I think they got 3 times the amount of subscribers as what Hammers Chat do, and Hammers Chat. I think Gio, I know Gonzo, basically lives off his YouTube money. That's his job.
Yeah.
So it must be.
Saying, like, you know,
they do all right, don't they? Do you know what I mean? But
as you said, it's not being funny. Like you said, you're a plasterer. You're working hard to earn a crust to feed your family, support your family. And some of these people, and as you said, they can do X amount of shows a day. We're the likes of me and you and that. We're lucky we get 1 or 2 in if we can, you know. But like, as Yeti's saying there, like, you know, when we said about Forest Fan TV, totally going AFTV style.
Yeah.
If they're going to get him back, because not being funny, you've definitely got to say AFTV. They must have some kind of backing, somewhere, form or shape, from Arsenal itself to promote them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so, and especially as, like, I don't know, like, I mean, they're a successful channel, but it's like the amount how they've grown in such a short amount of time. Like, they've gone from basically budget to professional like that.
Yeah, that's called being backed, though, isn't it? You definitely got to say they're being backed. There's no two ways. I mean, like Bargav, I like that comment. Smaller channels are really better, and totally agree on that. I mean, like, you know, I've only done this a short period of time, but it's a fact of, and you're probably the same as well, Tom. When you've got people in the chat, it's ones you can have a conversation with. Yeah, he's exactly the same opinion as me and you. Basically, you can have. It's more of a kind of like, you know, you're sitting around a table having a chinwag, maybe having a beer or two, and you can interact with the actual channel, you know, the chat, which is great because they love that, you love it, and it all works really well. But the bigger channels, as you know, you see that chat and it's just going 10 to the dozen, and they can't read all the comments.
You can't interact. Well, I mean, they'll go through, like, and if you're one of the lucky ones, your comment gets read. But like, that's what I mean. You don't, like you said, you don't get to build up like that relationship with your fans. You will have your regulars that you, as soon as you see their comment, it's going to catch your eye. So it's like every one of them other like every one of the other fan channels. It's like with Hammers Chat when they do watch-alongs, Claret and Booze when they do their thing on a Sunday, the Talk Hammers thing. But it's like they're regulars that that comment all the time. Their comments do get read most of the time, and they do have a bit of a community. But it's if you're not part of that community, you don't really get recognised half the time. Do you know what I mean? Whereas everyone that puts a comment up, their comment gets read, and we give our opinions on what they say. Do you know what I mean? So everyone gets the honest opinions from both of us.
His comment there. The honest opinions. They suck Arteta's banana. See, there's honest opinions. Yeah, I mean, Hot Fuzz is agreeing with what you've just said there, basically, like, you know, what Bargav said as well. I mean, these bigger channels become way too corporate and non-fan exclusive, and that's what it is, isn't it? It's commercial. I mean, like AFTV, when you look at when they suddenly got Rice and that video they bloody did with, you know, Rice Baby, it's like,
who the fuck approved that video as well? That was horrendous. That was embarrassing. If West Ham Fan TV had done that, I would have left a comment being like, mate, sort it out, come on. Oh, why are we doing that? Do you know what I mean? Why are you doing that? Just so.
How do you say that?
I don't.
You know, Arsenal fans actually moaned that when Rice moved on, that we didn't kind of say, well, you know, thanks, Rice, for what you've done, etc., and that Arsenal, and they got offended because we didn't kind of say anything about Arsenal. Arsenal's got nothing to do with us. We're selling it to them, not the other way around. Fucking idiots. I mean, yeah, he's right. Look, you know, I won't promote nothing unless I use it and I know it's good.
Yeah, too
someone
much.
like AFT, that's all they do. That's what they're there for, just kind of just to get the old revenue in.
It's everyone that goes on there is extremely like they're young as well. They ain't got the old school opinion on there either. Like every
No, it's
90%,
only League Judge, isn't it? Only League Judge, really.
90% of the geezers on there are 30 or below, and they're all like in it blood and all this shit. It's fucking annoying. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I grew up in East London. I grew up with boys that talk like that, all this, that, and the other. But it's like some of them overdo it, like really overdo it. Like they're putting it on to a point, and it does make you think: are they just reacting like that just to get the views? Do you know what I mean?
Of course they are. Because you got to think, who was the one that was really like that all the time for AFT? Even that Troops.
Yeah.
So if I can sound like him, look where he is now. If I do that, I can go down that road. That's what they're looking at. Guarantee it.
Geezers are knobheads, Troops. So's DP, pricks. They both want to be rappers as well. They both want to be rappers. It's fucking. They think they're gangsters when they're actually just fucking clowns. Oh, mate. Do you know what? And as well, do you know who's the worst out of all of them? Ty. Ty needs a slap. Actually, he's had a slap. Every time he turns up at West Ham, he gets slapped. Geezer don't know how to keep his mouth shut. Fucking does my nutting.
I mean, obviously, yeah, he's saying that, because you've got to think, since Rice has gone to Arsenal, he's not exactly kind of being so, as he's mentioned here. Arsenal got low-fat Rice now. Let's hear the song, lads. Yeah, absolutely. Nobody's medical. Call him full-fat Rice.
Do you know one thing I couldn't understand as well is because we never had that Rice baby chant. I never once heard that in the stadium, home or away.
No.
Why? Because it's
of course. That plus we probably would have got sued by Muller Rice as well, kind of thing. Like, maybe that was the reason why we didn't sing it.
No, he's an ambassador for him, isn't he? He does all the adverts for him, isn't he? He's an ambassador for Muller Rice.
Oh bloody hell! Jeez, that's how bad it comes. Daniel is back in the chat. Welcome back, Dan. Just come back this, as you call Arsenal fan, it's perfect timing. Us, Dan, we always make sure that we do it at the right time for people coming in. Yet he's saying you never hard the chant because you're not retarded. Yeah, we're not like him, that's for sure. And Bargav, unfortunately, is Arsenal fan. He says my fan base are crazy. What can you do? Exactly, mate. I mean, Bargav, we'll ask you this question. I don't know if you've actually been to the Emirates and watched the games and that. What do you think about this song they play? This, the geezer that kind of has made this kind of song before every home game. How do you feel about that? I mean, it's not exactly the greatest, but hey, give me your opinion on that, Bargo. I want to know what you think about how this song is. Have you heard it? Their song that they start at the games.
I went to the Emirates at the end of last season to watch the West Ham under 18s versus Arsenal in the Emirates Cup final. When we beat them, by the way. And they were singing it there. It's atrocious, mate. It's atrocious. I don't like it. I think they're just trying to catch on to, because obviously we've got a song.
Yeah,
we've got a song that we sing. Liverpool song. She's got two. She's got two first names. Don't trust someone that's got two first names.
Oh, Zoe and Tom, was like you're saying. Yeah. No, she's really good.
First names.
Thanks for coming in, Zoe. It's good seeing you in here. Nicey now. Hot Fuzz. Bargo's a nice fella, mate. He's a nice fella. He's laughing there. You meet North. That's the song. North London Forever. Yeah. What do you think of that, Bargav? What do you really, what do you think of that song? Because, I'm not too sure about that myself.
one thing I will say is it's a little bit contradictory considering as they were South London, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
So it's
they make songs about players in the shower. How weird. Yes. Or party hard and rice, baby.
To be fair, I've barely heard Arsenal fans sing. They're some of the quietest bunch. Their stadium's nice though. I do like their stadium.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, no, you want to hear that song, North London Forever. Yes. Yeah, I'll leave it there. I'll let you have your own judgment on that one. Long as his cave, they are touching themselves. Jesus Christ. They're touching themselves while thinking about Arsenal players. Wow. What do you think about our forward line, Tom? What do you think about that at the moment? Do you think we need to get someone else in?
Yeah, of course. 100%. Yeah, I heard that. I heard the rumour about Ansu Fati, the Barcelona player, and there being an unnamed Premier League club that isn't in the Champions League that have bid 50 million for him. Heard about that. Ansu Fati's got a bad injury record though. He's got a lot of potential. He's still young, but he's got a bad injury record so far. In my opinion, we definitely need a striker. I don't know if this is the striker that we're going to get. But yeah, we definitely need a striker. I mean, we can do the first couple of games of the season with Antonio up front. But yeah, in the long run, we need someone. I'd like Mubama to get more minutes, but I can't see Moyes giving it to him because he don't like playing young players. It's evident. He don't even like playing Flynn Downs, and Flynn Downs is a year older than Declan Rice. I do which the logic behind it, I don't know. The only reason why Moyes played Declan Rice is because he was already made into that mini superstar when Moyes returned. Declan Rice in that relegation battle was the one shining light. So when Moyes came back in, he was like, "Oh, you're better now. I'm going to play you." Do you know what I mean?
True. That is true.
It's not a master by Moyes. It's like when people try to credit Moyes for what how Declan Rice become. No, it's got nothing to do with Moyes. If anything, it's Pellegrini.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, I'll think about Maria Brink in the shower. Wow. North London Forever, I'm okay with it. Club roots and such, yeah, I get that. PSG fans complain it's not French. Oh, wow. It's not French enough. It just needs to be a bit more lively for me, Bargav. It just sounds very droll, the song itself. I mean, Zoe's agreeing here. North London Forever is brutal. Yeah, it is. I agree with that comment. Sorry.
When you think about it, yeah, when you hear a club song sang at the top of the fans' lungs in a full stadium, like you'll never walk alone at Anfield, like I'm Forever blowing bubbles at fucking West Ham. That makes your hair stand on end. That is special. That is the identity of a football club. That North London Forever is a joke. That's what that is. I'd stop singing it. And if I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be an advocate that you stop singing it. To be honest. Oh,
I might as well sing it, Tom. You never know. Make my hair grow back again. You never know. I might sing it if I do that. Right, so Thomas, Chelsea isn't a song either. Yeah, but it sounds a bit more lively though. She's saying that's the best chant going.
Chelsea are Red Boys. Oh, talking of Chelsea, remember when that specky little West Ham fan knocked out that fucking 6'4" Chelsea fan last season? I posted that. I posted that the other day, and I got a warning on TikTok of a brutal bullying behaviour.
Yeah, can't beat Yeti's song, can't beat our song, Nottingham. I can help you all with the lyrics. It's like the Skull song.
Do you know what though? The atmosphere at Nottingham Forest West Ham last season was electric. It was electric. the first game of last season. Their fans fucking done themselves proud that day, and they just because of the atmosphere, they deserve to win it. That place was fucking bouncing, and too right as well. Good on them coming back to the Premier League. I'm sad to see Leeds go down.
Yeah, but I think that was. I think it was a case of when you look at that, it's probably Jesse March. His ideas were, I think his ideas were kind of fairly okay, but how he applied them was a different thing altogether. What's he saying? So Tom, I've heard the new chant for Caicedo. If you sign him, it will be Chelsea, 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 Chelsea. I mean, I'm sure that's probably going to be a last-minute thing. Caicedo going to Chelsea. Wouldn't surprise me at all with that.
Yeah, I can see the Maguire thing dragging on as well, and McTominay. I can see it dragging on.
Maybe the McTominay one, but maybe not so much Maguire. I think that will come quicker than you think, I believe. I think that will come a bit more quicker. Yeah. Unless, of course, like, they can't afford enough. They've got to get the one cab down to East London to sign the paperwork. Could be that, I don't know.
I'm 50-50 whether he's going to join the wages.
Well, this is the thing. But then I suppose, as we said earlier, if they do that, we pay X amount, and if you do keep a clean sheet in a game, you get extra. Score a goal, you get extra. That's probably the only way we're going to get it across the line. Malikantai, that's the song at Forest, obviously. Yeah, I mean, when you hear him sing that, I mean, like you said, it's one of those kind of type of songs that really kind of gets the hair on the back of your neck to stand up. She's laughing at Fuzzy's comment. Where did them pom pom girls go from the Crystal Palace walkout?
We used to have cheerleaders, didn't we? Yeah.
What happened to them?
I don't know. Half time's a bit boring nowadays. But then again, it doesn't really matter because when you go to the London Stadium, you spend the whole half time waiting for a beer. Having a half time show would be pointless. There's no one in the stand.
Well, think about when you think about our cheerleaders and that, and consider the owner and that. Put two and two together, you never know.
He'd get his fiance down there.
Also, Newcastle. Yeah, that's another grand, isn't it? Newcastle, they're another one. Fans wear their heart on their sleeves.
Yeah, but they're arseholes because they stick the away fans up in the gods. How you going to have a banter with the fans when you're sticking the away fans up in the gods? That's the only thing. That's the only qualm. Like, but they're all together. Do you know what I mean? They're all like unison with one. They're a lot of great fans. I've never had a problem with Newcastle fans, but apart from when they tried to tell me Longstaff was better than Rice. But yeah, apart from that, I have a lot of respect for Newcastle fans. Working class club. Like I like clubs like that. Do you know what I mean? They're relatable. It's like I don't like Liverpool, but I like Everton.
Yeah, strange, isn't it?
Fans, not clubs.
Yeah, would you be on this one, Tom? You can have Dyer if you want as well. You're saying from Spurs. Would we take Eric Dyer?
The two biggest foreheads in the Premier League. Two biggest foreheads in the Premier League. They'll fall over each other. I don't know. You can keep him. Yeah, no, I'm not interested in it. None of Spurs players interest me apart from Kulusevski. I'd have at West Ham. None of the other ones I really rate.
I mean, Dan. What's happening with Son? Is he still there? What's happening with Son? I don't know. He seems to have gone into a shell all of a sudden.
I don't think Son will go. He loves Tottenham.
Thought you West Ham fans like to get high. Do we? Well, we might.
Get high. I'm stoned right now, mate. What are you talking about? It's gone half past 6. So I'm relaxing now. Fucking, I've got to get off. Got to have my dinner. Fucking starving. I've had the munchies for this show.
How long you got left on?
Give us 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Oh,
No worries, mate.
my missus tapped on the door about 20 minutes ago, so it's probably cold. Just stick it in the oven, though. It'll be all right. She just won't be happy. She likes eating. We need to eat as a couple.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm going to go down there. She's going to be like.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure doing the stream anyway, but
I thought it was only going to be about half an hour, so I never told you how long I was going to be. I don't put a time on anything nowadays because you just shoot yourself in the foot. So what time are you getting home from work? I don't know, babe. I get home when I get home.
That's the thing. Oh, he's on the bench versus Barca at the moment. Okay, that's interesting.
Oh, they got friendly against Barca.
And they're winning too. And they're actually winning. Wow. But I'll go say, no idea. Tottenham's 2-1 up. Yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting, that one.
Do you know what? Arsenal, Tottenham, like, I know their manager. I used to watch Celtic last season. I know exactly how they're going to play. And if they don't get defenders in, they're going to get ripped to shreds. That's it. It's as simple as that. They need a strong defense because Postecoglou plays too attacking. He's got possession base. He likes to have the ball. But when we did it to him three times, ripped him apart with our second string team. I know it's only a friendly and it was only his first game, but that was his problem when he was Celtic manager. Whenever he come against someone decent, like I think it was Hearts, Aberdeen, and Rangers were the best teams in the Scottish SPL. They're all shit anyway. But when they came up against any of them, they leaked goals left, right, and centre. And he's basically just bringing the same philosophy back over to Tottenham. And I think he's going to struggle.
I think the jury's going to be out on him, as you said, because I mean, the bowler counts. He came in at Celtic and that didn't do a bad job. Spurs, on the other hand, could be a different thing. Our conversation about you having your dinner and stuff, so stereotype mission accomplished, and yet he's followed up with, "You will be gagged."
I've got chicken. I've got garlic Kiev, so she's going to be gagging at my breath when I give her a kiss goodnight. Come here, man.
Well, Daniel, he didn't hear that question because he was in the chippy ordering some food. Savoline shits for me, please, Dan. You don't mind? Oh, and have a Wally as well with that and all, please, mate. Thank you very much.
Fucking curry roll for me, mate. I'll have one of them.
Oh, yeah. They've just signed a defender, haven't they? Spurs as well. 40 million.
Are they? Oh, well. So hope he's any good because they do have a habit of spending stupid money on defenders that were shit. Emerson Royale he's one of their defenders, and there was the other one. Remember,
he was a different player last season. I'll give him that. He was a different player.
I wouldn't know. I don't watch Tottenham unless they're playing us. I refuse. I refuse. So I feel like Voldemort watching Harry Potter.
Maybe I need to change these glasses then, Tom. Maybe I'm not seeing so well. It could be that, mate. I don't
know. Just a smudge, son. Just a smudge.
There we go. It's freezing.
But again. That's literally just right on topic. Van der Ven, not fucking no one. Like we have.
Van der Ven. Yeah, Van der Ven. That's his name. Yeah, £40 million. Yeah. Sign no one. And sign no one.
Yeah. We signed fucking no one.
He's good at go-karts.
Who did he play for? I've no idea. I'm guessing Ajax or someone like that.
Let's have a look and see what's
and I haven't heard of him. But ever since West Ham's been in Europe, I ain't been watching the Champions League. I used to watch the Champions League all the time. In the middle of the week, but since West Ham, I've been in Europe. I've just been.
No, still there, mate. Oh, Wolfsburg. They're Hotfuzz has confirmed. So Wolfsburg, he's signed for.
Okay.
So he's going to wear the number 37 shirt. Apparently, signed a 6-year deal.
Fucking hell.
So there's 34.5 million plus a potential £8.5 million add-on as well.
That's getting qualified. That will probably be Champions League qualification, and winning a trophy better not be one of them. We know what Tottenham are like with trophies.
Yeah. Daniel, he heard your comment earlier on. Did you say you only take Kulusevski? What about Kane? Don't you reckon Bissouma or Bentancur get in your team as well?
No, I'm not saying that I wouldn't get into my team. Like, I haven't really. Like I said, I don't watch much Tottenham, but what I have seen of Tottenham, the only player who stands out for me is Kulusevski. He's the only player I would like West Ham to try and get in. Like, I'm not like trying to put in a joint 11 or anything like that. I think it'll be relatively even. Probably biased, but that's what happens when you support a football team, isn't it? If he was to do a joint 11, it will probably be 6 or 7 Tottenham and the rest West Ham, and it will probably be the same for me because we rate our players higher than our enemies. Do you know what I mean? But Kane, Moyes wouldn't know what to do with Kane. Fucking Moyes would be like, Harry Kane, I've got to see him at the World Cup before I know what to do with him. Got to let him bed into the Premier League, I do. You wouldn't know what to do with him. But on Bentancur, I haven't really paid too much attention to him, and that's just my honest opinion. So I'm not going to judge players I haven't really paid any notice of. Like even on Match of the Day, I don't really pay much attention to any of the other teams. I focus on West Ham and West Ham only. And to be honest, don't watch it if we lose. I avoid it and stuff. I don't want to hear fucking what's his name, Alan Shearer cuss us off. Fucking Danny Murphy talk about how he's playing.
The usual. Tom, I will say it's now an hour and 36 we've been doing this and that. It's been a pleasure having you on, mate.
It's been a pleasure being on, mate. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. If you want to just kind of say your channel to the people in the chat.
Yeah, give us a subscribe at the West Ham Faithful. I'll send Tony over the link so you can put it in the description, so you can just click on the link and subscribe to my channel that way. And I subscribe back to whoever subscribes to me. So yeah, I keep an eye on it, and whoever subscribes to me so far, I'll make sure I subscribe back to your channels. Get in contact if you want me to come on any of your previews or reviews or anything like that, and I'll do the same with you guys. Yeah, hopefully I'll have Tony on one of my shows in the near future.
No, it's been good, mate. It's been a good show, isn't it? And then also, like, I will say to the people in the chat, obviously Longhaired Yeti, obviously Hot Fuzz, Old School Gunner, Henry Ray. If you haven't already done so, make sure you see their channels, subscribe to them, hit the like button on their streams and the videos they do, etc. All great, exceptional people. For me, guys, it's been a pleasure as always. And to my person on my right, Tom, it's been a pleasure. And as always, this is the first of many. We're going to make sure we see each other on doing some other shows. For everyone else, have a good evening. It's been entertaining, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. So the only thing I'll say for Tom's point of view and for all you people in there is come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.
Take care for now.